You know Mary Poppins. She's carrying that umbrella. And then there's that painting. The pointillism painting. I think it's like Manet or I don't know. It's by the Seine in France. I think. So beautiful. And I gotta tell you that nowadays there's so much kerfuffle, so much confusion, so much phantasmagoria that it can be difficult to find happiness. Now a lot of people, a lot of human beings are accustomed to retrieving, finding happiness in synthetic pleasures, any manner of diversion, and I get it. So I want you to imagine that like Mary Poppins, you are along the Seine and you are a pointillism configuration. You've been painted by someone. So you're there. Your substance is ephemeral. You're composed of dots, micro dots, different colors. You know, colors that men don't even know how to describe. Things like fuchsia and teal, and that's as far as I can go. And you've got this wonderful blouse. If you're a man, just go with it, okay? You have your umbrella. The sun is shining down through the trees, but the rays of the sun are pointillisms too, and the trees are pointillisms, and the river is pointillisms, and everything's a pointillism. Except for the one guy in that crazy fisherman's hat, by himself, with boots. What are they called? Galoshes. Now, we can't have this guy in pointillism galoshes. That's just altogether too French, too esoteric, too surreal, even if this is an impressionistic scenario. He's hardcore, he's substantial, he's thick with paint. He's got overalls on, he is an aberration, in some respects an anachronism. He's there on the river fishing. Corncob pipe. Again, he's an amalgam of my imagination, so he's gonna be what I need him to be. If you don't like imagining that you're Mary Poppins under the pointillism umbrella, what's it called, a parasol? I love it when the words come to me. Then you can imagine that you're that guy. So the woman is diaphanous. You can almost see through her. Her being, her soul, is suggestive. It's an impression. He, on the other hand, is solid, rock solid. He's fishing. He may or may not catch anything, but I tell you what, he's stalwart. He is full of resolve, and he's courageous, and he's clear. He's fishing. Now, he may catch a fish that is also a pointillism fish, some kind of French fish. Maybe it's well, I don't know any French fish, but maybe it's a bass. Maybe there are French bass, a French trout. Whatever Parisians eat in their fancy cafes, that's what he's going after. And he holds the rod of the pole. Oh, with such authority, right? He's the only solid figure in the painting of our minds. We're enacting this together, you and me. So, keep up. Now, I must admit, myself, because I'm a fanatic of happiness, I like to oscillate between the woman and the man, right? I enjoy what it is like to incarnate as a feminine essence, and I must tell you that I try to keep a vessel or a vehicle or even a container for that feminine essence, because I didn't want to get overtaken by it. I'm a guy. I don't want to become so incontrovertibly effeminate and such a wash that I dissolve at the edges. I don't want that. You can see it takes a moment to bring it back. I do enjoy experiencing that temporarily, but I'm more drawn to the man. What I want for that man is what that man wants for himself. He holds the pole. He holds the pole. It's a soul pole. It's a pole of soul, and it's his only pole, so it's a soul pole. And because he's so dominant, he's in his masculine pole, so it's his soul pole. And you can bet that at some point he's going to catch one of them French fish and sell it for 1,000 francs to a local chef at one of those fancy French cafes. And you know how it all works together? Synchronistically. All these strands of reality tantrically interweaving into a great, phenomenal, nuominal tapestry. Because she's going to sit down at that French cafe. Miss Mary Poppins with her parasol. Miss Mary Poppins, pointillism, parasol, eating that French fish. Now, when she was along the banks of the Seine, she didn't pay attention to that man. But he was there with his soul, pole, catching the fish that she's about to eat. And she's going to love every single morsel of that fish. She is going to taste every single nuance. It's going to be nothing but 25 minutes of delicacy for this very feminine consumer. And if she could, you know she'd smack her lips, but she's French. She's Parisian. She's not going to do anything like that. She's going to be the quintessence of elegance. Perfect. I must tell you, he's going to get up from the bank of the Seine. He's going to walk down the streets. He's going to be looked at as a bum. Whatever the French equivalent for bum is. I feel bad, I studied French. But a curmudgeon, a ne'er-do-well, a neglected, derelict individual. No one's going to afford him the respect of holding the soul pole. No one knows about the soul pole. Especially the woman who's about to eat the fish that was caught by the soul pole. So, in that moment, think about what's happening. He's walking on these cobblestones on some great rue, R-U-E, in Paris. And then there's this woman, Mary Poppins, pointillism, parasol, sitting there eating the fish that he caught. She is still a constellation of ephemeral dots. He is solid. The entire world around him is pointillism. He doesn't care. He knows that's the way it is. He knows that's the way it's got to be his entire life. And he's got to take the soul, pole every day to the banks of the Seine and catch that fish for that woman. And he's catching that fish because he's catching that fish. Okay, let's be really clear. He is catching that fish because he is catching that fish. That fish can be this big, this big, this big, this big. His mission is to catch fish. Now, you may regard that as trivial. You may think that he's not worthy of consideration. He's a nobody. But actually, he's the only solid figure in this gorgeous tapestry of pointillism. He's the only solid thing there is. And think about it this way. That kind of contrast is miraculous. That bum, that fisherman, that nobody sets the contrast for the entire tapestry of dots. Okay? That woman needs to be penetrated by the soul, pole. Because when she's penetrated by the soul, pole, something happens with her. Every single teal and fuchsia dot that composes her body-mind irradiates. She becomes radiant when she's eating the fish that was caught by the soul, pole. Right? And then she knows what it means to be alive, because remember, she has been constructed as an ephemeral being. Not because that's what she prefers, but that's just the design of the painting. Mary Poppins, a pointillism parasol. She floats from one occasion to the next. She stays at the banks of the Seine. She floats away down a bridge and goes to a cafe. And she floats away, goes to the Louvre, enjoys magnificent art, floats away to the Bastille, then to Montmartre, all these wonderful places. But what is she doing? She needs the soul, pole. And only one man can give it to her. And this is not a man who is concerned about her need for his soul, pole. Remember, he's on the earth for one reason alone. His mission. She is gorgeous. Okay? And I don't mean just physically gorgeous. Yes, no, maybe. Everybody's got their particular tastes for this wonderful woman. She's gorgeous just because she is. Because that's her design. Right? Guess what? Mr. Soul Pole Fisherman, he's serving this woman. They've never met. She eats his fish. It's the best fish she's ever eaten. Now you may say, oh, that was the chef. In conventional reality, yes, it's the chef. But in this reality, it's a fish that's caught with the soul, pole. Why? Because he holds that pole with authority. He's the dominant man. He's the only solid man in Paris. Everybody else flitters about like a wraith, a specter. He's the only reason Paris doesn't float into the firmament and dissolve into space. He's anchored it, and he's nobody. Nobody knows about this nobody. Nobody. But without that fisherman anchoring the entire planet, poof, you can kiss the earth goodbye. And what's more, Mr. Soul Popo, he doesn't even know. He's not there getting off on the coherence of planet Earth that stays constellated with pure being and substance, because he's out there catching French fish, selling them to the chef in the local market down there by the Seine. Right? Now the French chef, he understands something's up with the fisherman. When the fisherman comes to the market with the day's catch and all those French fish, the chef knows what's up. Doesn't necessarily have any fancy concepts about what's up, but he knows he's gonna get the best fish from that dude, not from that other dude who's some constellation of pointillisms as well, because that other fisherman ain't got the soul, pole. Okay? The French chef recognizes the soul, pole. Even if the French chef doesn't have the language for it, he's just got the intuition. This is my guy. Give me the fish. No, no. I don't want your fish. I don't want you. Get all that fucking fish away from me. I want this man's fish. This man's fish. This man. Nobody, and I mean nobody, knows this man's fish like that French chef. And nobody in this scenario, not even the great architect of reality, uses the word soul, pole. And that's just you and me, my friend. We are outside of the painting and we are inside of the painting. And we are outside of the painting, we're like, whoa, this painting is dope. And then when we're in the painting, we're just like, if we're Mary Poppins Parasol, we're just whoo, you know? And if we step into the galoshes of Mr. Fisherman, and we hold the soul, pole, then our lives change, you know? Just for a second. And I think it's a subtle, fascinating inquiry. How we, you and me, can inhabit that fisherman for a moment, and yet that fisherman is solid, dominant, a rock, an oak, a thunderbolt. But just doing his thing, not having any idea how the universe coheres around him and is anchored by his simple act. He just knows why he's alive. That's why her fish tastes so fucking good. That's why that French chef will take nobody else's catch. Never. It's not happening. I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody who gets in touch with that French fisherman nobody, who doesn't understand that French fisherman nobody, but at least suspends judgment and is receptive to that soul, pole, gets to taste the best fish they've ever had, and gets a taste of what it's like to sit upon the sand